And welcome back, and good morning if you're just joining us. This is Ottawa at Work. I am Andrew Pinsent, in for Patricia Bowl this morning. Currently 24 degrees, feeling like 31 out there. Some beautiful sunshine. Summer, no doubt here. It took a little while to get there, but we're here in full force. Rachel Caven is a clinical nutritionist and founder of Caven Nutrition and joins us to talk a little bit about summer and keeping up with our nutrition as sometimes our routines have fallen off the rails here. Rachel, thanks so much for joining me this morning. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Andrew.
So, as kind of struck me in talking about this morning was I was on a patio last night, and you start chomping away at some kettle chips that come your way, and things can kind of get out of control. So, we're talking about kind of tips for keeping up with your nutrition and your healthy eating while you're still out enjoying the summertime.
Absolutely, you can definitely do both, and you can enjoy it as well. We have to enjoy the summer; it's so short here.
You have to, yeah, and don't let the food get in the way here, but there is kind of overdoing it as well. So we start with the idea of kind of making sure you're eating something, right?
Absolutely. So you want to never go to an event completely famished. You want to have a little bit of something in your belly first so that you can sit down at the table and make better choices and not be so weak to the bowl of chips.
That's exactly the problem that happened last night. Exactly. I didn't eat anything, and then all of a sudden there was something there. So
right?
that'll
good.
Yeah, right. And kind of if you do kind of fill up a little bit though, it keeps you from again kind of munching on those snacks or anything that's kind of hanging around for the next little while.
Yeah, I love the idea of having, I always tell my clients to have purse food or office food, car food, whatever, have snacks with you. Be the mom that always has the snacks, right? But for yourself, not just for your children.
Yeah.
Always have something higher in protein. Maybe you have some almonds or, you can always find things at anywhere, even at a gas station. You can get pepperettes or beef jerky or even those hard-boiled eggs. Those gross me out, but some people love them. So whatever works for you.
It's not the first time I've heard the term purse snacks either, but it's definitely a good idea. The other thing too, and speaking kind of on the same vein, is kind of bringing healthy options with you, and that being one of them. You can bring some healthy snacks with you.
For sure. That might not work at a restaurant, but if you're going to a barbecue or a dinner party or something, always bring something with you. That's always going to be super appreciated. And then you can also make sure you're going into the party knowing that you have some options. So even if it's just a salad or a veggie tray or a fruit tray or something, you're going to have, you can at least fill up on something a little bit healthy.
You at least have one healthy option there. And it kind of leads into your next point about, even if you are at a big barbecue and there's lots of offerings there, building a balanced plate, right? Keeping some veggies in your diet.
Absolutely. So I think it's better to always have a plate versus just snacking the whole time, because when you're snacking, you don't really realize what you're eating and how much you're eating of each thing. So actually sitting down and having a plate, even if it's just a paper plate or whatever they have there, and try to do the same thing as you would at home with your meal. So making sure you have a third of veggies, a third of protein, and then a third of carbohydrates.
Definitely some good tips to try to keep your brain focused on what it needs. The other thing we deal a lot with, the summer months, it's hot out there today, right? People are feeling dehydrated. They want water. And sometimes your brain can mistake that for feeling hungry.
100%. So we're definitely sweating more. We're hotter more, especially when we're going into these heat waves. And of course, a cold beverage always sounds so amazing and really hits the spot whenever you're feeling really, really hot. So, and there's nothing wrong with having a couple of drinks at a party, but just make sure you're alternating that with some water. So trying to drink your, 8 glasses of water throughout the day, make sure you're still getting that. But you probably need even more than that if you are hot and you're sweating. And then also if you're having any alcohol, you need to have some extra water. So I like to do the 1-to-1 rule where for every alcoholic drink you have, you also have another drink of something that's non-alcoholic. So that could just be a glass of water or sparkling water, kombucha, iced tea, or an electrolyte beverage.
But it comes back to balance too, and I suppose the more water that you have in yourself, the better you're going to feel. Because if you are dehydrated, you're going to feel rough.
You're going to feel pretty bad.
Choose your treats with intention. So we know we love our treats and our desserts. So how do we choose our treats with intention, Rachel?
So I think a lot of people go to an event and they just feel like they have to eat everything, and it's because our moms and our dads told us that we have to, finish everything on your plate, like eat everything that's served to you. But now you're an adult. You can make those choices. You don't have to eat every single thing. So if you really want the dessert, have it. But maybe don't eat that like grocery store gross potato salad, right?
Yeah.
Like pick the things that mean the most to you and you're going to get the most enjoyment out of it.
And of course, the continued the continued battle with eating is also trying to stay moving as well, to try to burn off some of those calories, and that is very important in the summer to try to keep physically moving.
Right. We would just want to like sit in the pool, sit on our pool floaty.
Yeah.
I love doing that. But and it doesn't have to be intense exercise because of course it's really, really hot out, but just get moving, like go for a walk, go swimming, tread some water while you're sitting in the pool, or like throw frisbee, play with the kids, whatever it is, just move a little bit. It's going to also help with your digestion, and it helps to keep your energy up when it's really, really hot.
But it is a good point too, just the idea that this doesn't have to be, high intensity exercise. This can just be going for a walk for 20 minutes, just being outside in general and moving around a little bit.
Absolutely. Take advantage because in 6 months, we're going to be complaining that it's too cold to go outside.
Yeah,
so a little bit of outdoor time is good for you.
It feels like we have such little time. But also the idea, and this kind of goes for everything, but just in general, when we're trying to kind of figure it out and be healthy, you don't have to be perfect. And in fact, that can be a little bit of a detriment to you if you are trying to be perfect.
Exactly. So like one barbecue or one night at a restaurant, that's not going to make or break your health. The goal is kind of focusing on the 80-20 rule. So 80% of the time you're eating healthy, balanced meals. And then 20% of the time, if you're having some ice cream, if you're having some drinks, that's totally fine. You're still going to be healthy.
That's the good news. So don't hold yourself to too much perfection here, or don't stress about it too much, but just try to do a little bit each day. Rachel, thank you so much for joining us. As always, I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Rachel Caven is a clinical nutritionist and the founder of Caven Nutrition, and joins Ottawa at Work today to go over some tips for your summer, trying to keep it all balanced is kind of the key word here. So just to recap, don't show up starving like I did to a patio last night. Bring healthy options, build a balanced plate, hydration, drink lots of water, choose your treats with intention, keep moving. Don't stress about perfection. That is Rachel Caven.